welcome everybody to We Hate Anime, the only anime podcast that just is almost to 200 subscribers. Holy fuck, stop watching that meme, I spent no time on it.
I think that meme, the popularity of that meme, really just highlights how desperate we are to be entertained by even the smallest thing.
It's like it's barely, I don't even think it's 30 seconds long, and it has like almost 30k views at this point. Jesus Christ.
Well, it's that other meme that everybody's been quoting that I actually genuinely like, and I have no idea why, but it's just like the, ride wife, knife good, wife fight back.
Monkey memes are always funny, though.
You know, the problem is, like, bodybuilders have, my buddies, the bodybuilders, we've taken those memes and just run with it, like...
Everyone has. We've
taken, like, return to tradition to the next level. It's now return to monkey.
That's, again, you are not unique.
That's not unique. That's
everywhere.
That is the internet right now.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
We want to return to Silverback. We don't want to return to, like, Capuchin.
Monkey.
I'm English Mike, everybody. I'm the host. Joining me, as always, is the Mothman.
No, actually, it's Frog. Frog has always been here. Like, I've missed episodes, you've missed episodes. Frog is the only consistency.
Because I never have any fucking plans.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm Moth.
And the one who is consistent is the Frog King.
That's me.
Yep.
And we fucking are anime boys. We did a bunch of anime and some non-anime.
We did it?
Mike, I want a kidney stone.
Okay.
I have friends who can convince you don't want a kidney stone.
No, it's like everybody who always gets a kidney stone is like, oh, it's so awful. Oh, you wish you were dead for 3 days. Wham. Look,
I wouldn't want to piss a rock out of my urethra either.
But, like, I've been eating jerky, drinking orange juice, drinking protein shakes, drinking protein bars, and drinking energy drinks trying to get a kidney stone. It's been, like, 2 weeks and I still don't have one.
Seems like a terrible fucking idea.
Like, if you want a kidney stone, literally all you have to do is replace, like, all of your water with just diet drink.
Just drink a bunch of, like, Monster for your water.
The problem is... The problem is I actually have to drink water pretty consistently for, like, muscle recovery and stuff, so that's
you also
just
you shouldn't drink Monster because it's not healthy. Like,
no, I drink probably 3 a day, if I'm being honest.
Like, kidney stones are a result of bad diet.
Well, like, my diet's actually pretty solid, because it's just nothing but protein shakes,
you won't get
rice, and
You're
broccoli.
not going to get a kidney stone, the thing you crave.
I don't want to ruin my diet, though. That'll ruin my six-pack.
Then don't.
Look, is there a way to get an artificial kidney stone?
We don't want you to ruin your diet. Just
Mike,
stop trying to get a kidney stone.
Mike, I got an idea, alright? So, give yourself a kidney stone, and then we'll take, like, a -2 gauge syringe, or like a 000 gauge syringe, and we'll extract the kidney stone from you, and we'll give it to me, and I'll take care of your kidney stone for you.
That's not how any of this works.
Look,
if you want a kidney stone so bad, just take a rock and inject it into your balls.
At that point, putting the rock in would be more painful than getting it out, though.
Look, you don't... I know how syringes work, because when I was really suffering from anorexia, I was, like, actively taping a syringe to my vacuum cleaner to try to give myself, like, homemade liposuction.
And this is what we're talking about on the episode after Subscriber Boom.
Yes, and? Oh, come on, like, most of the consistent subscribers just like to hear me give you an aneurysm.
Yeah, hey, welcome new people to the podcast where I slowly die every single time Moth opens his mouth.
Frog, what was that other thing that I mentioned I wanted to talk about?
I have no fucking idea.
It was like Return to Monkey, kidney stones, and there was one other thing. Oh yeah, might makes right.
Oh, go fuck off. I hate you so much.
Look, all I'm saying is the strongest guy in the room is generally correct.
Can you name one example?
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger whenever he has an opinion.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's a liberal. I don't care what he says.
We're not talking politics. I'm just saying he's right about everything all the time, and he's super jacked.
I wish he was.
Dude, he's always been right.
I would, if you were right all the time, I would be more than happy to secede this point, but he's not.
I am right all the time.
Wait, are you implying that you are Schwarzenegger?
I'm implying I'm the strongest guy in the room right now.
I mean, aren't you alone in your room with your cats?
True.
Well, yeah, but like if we were all in a room together and we were all recording, like I would be right 100% of the time because you guys don't even bench your own body weight.
I could just punch you in the balls.
Except you're psychologically stunted, so I could very easily manipulate you into doing what I want, and therefore I would be the strongest. Fuck you, brains are better.
Bruh, nah, Goku has taught me that brains don't mean anything.
Didn't Goku fucking like die like 7 times?
Goku also taught me that child abuse is A-okay, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna live by that.
That's Piccolo who taught you that.
Well, fuck you. Piccolo is at least tried to raise a child. Goku was like, hey, my son's fighting Cell.
Guys, we're gonna get all the Dragon Ball fans salty. They're gonna get
boost.
posted on fucking shitty Twitter pages.
No, everybody knows that Dragon Ball's a joke. At this point, I actually think Team 4-Star gave up dubbing Dragon Ball because they could no longer parody Goku.
Maybe.
Because, like, Goku base is more like he's more of a joke than any joke they could write about Goku.
Kinda. I mean,
that whole what was it 3-minute scene where Trunks kisses his girlfriend and they're like, wait,
I could go on for like
Pilaf?
hours about how Dragon Ball is not written, but that would be a really boring podcast.
Wait, Dragon Ball's not written?
Barely.
What do you mean?
I mean, like, dude,
Akira Toriyama writes it.
he tries.
He definitely draws it. I'll give him that.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, Dragon Ball is written. It's just, hey, we gotta keep raising the stakes. We're at the point where we can't really raise the stakes anymore because the gods of the gods of the
quote
gods
unquote, haven't actually changed since like the beginning of Z. It's just
That's
like
fine though.
If you like the formula, and I will not judge anyone. I like Dragon Ball Z to a point, but it's not good.
It's a character comedy where you just enjoy watching people bash each other's faces in.
I mean, there's not very much comedy in it.
There's a ton of comedy in it. The whole show is comedy.
Like 90% of the show is like repeated punching, and then like the 10% is like Yajirobe going, "Whoa!"
Are you kidding me? Like the Frieza Goku dynamic now is phenomenal. Did you not watch the new Dragon Ball movie with Broly?
Oh, he's talking about Super. Who gives a fuck about Super?
I didn't
We're
say
talking about
Super.
Z.
Super is phenomenal. What are you talking about?
Super is like I've watched some of Super, and I thought it was funnier than Z.
Super is phenomenal. Like, have you seriously not watched the Broly movie and you call yourself anime fans?
We've talked about the Broly movie on here.
The Broly movie is a masterpiece.
I think it's very good.
Yeah, it is great.
It's not really much of a comedy.
I think it's very good.
It is absolutely
it's an action
a comedy.
Movie.
Everything about
I don't know
that
how
movie is
anyone
funny.
could. How can you look at like Broly and be like, man, this is a masterful comedy?
It's like there's some funny scenes in it.
Joke,
that's all you can say about it, though.
The one joke in the whole thing that Frieza just wants the balls so he can be slightly less of a manlet is like ruined because it sets up the joke and then immediately tells the joke before it has any build.
Calling Dragon Ball comedy is like calling Mob Psycho a comedy just because it has funny
Mob
bits.
Psycho is a comedy though.
No.
The only fucking comedy here is Yukon Shoes.
The only comedy.
You know
Mob Psycho like is funny. It's very funny. But
yeah,
like,
it is. It's a comedy.
I mean, I guess you could justify Mob Psycho being a comedy more than you could Dragon Ball.
No, you absolutely could justify them both being a comedy. You're just humorless because you're a zoomer.
I said I find them both funny.
I figured it out. Frog. Moth finds it very funny when people punch each other, and that's it.
I mean, so
Bleach
far
is a
God of
comedy.
High School has been phenomenally hilarious, and that's all they do.
I mean,
that's a perfect segue. Hey, Frog, why don't you tell me about how bad God of High School is?
God of High School is the most generic shonen on the planet, and I love it.
I was so happy because I thought the first 5 episodes were really fun.
It is the worst parts of Hunter x Hunter. It's the worst parts of like pretty much every anime you can think of, and yet it's still got such a huge animation budget that it forces itself to be good.
No, I think it's what I found anyway. At least my experience watching it was that like it was this fun little martial arts thing with pretty charming characters. I think. I don't think I'm.
Yeah,
I don't
the
think
main
I'm
character is
that.
phenomenally charming.
Yeah, like they're pretty fun. I like them. They're all pretty cool. Not like super characterized or anything, but they're they're entertaining.
I'm just so mad.
And then episode 6 rolls around, and then episode 7 especially, and instead of these cool martial arts fights with some minor magic-y bullshit, it turns into like an episode of late game Bleach where everyone pulls out fucking giant Rasengan balls, and I'm so tired. It turns into every anime of all time
You
after
mean
the
it's become JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
No. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is entertaining. Because JoJo's Bizarre Adventure has... I talked about this on Twitter, actually. Someone was saying, like, I was like, oh, they're just stands, dude. I'm like, stands have, like, set limits and rules to them that, like, are established and, like... And even if they break sometimes, they're at least mostly consistent. Out of High School is every person so far just has a power. They don't explain how they happen. They just kind of exist, and then they can do what they do, and they do it. And there's no limitations.
After how grounded, for the most part, God of High School was. I mean, it obviously set up, like in the very first episode, it set up a bad guy who has an insane power, and then after that was just mostly grounded.
Well, grounded in the sense that it's like very exaggerated martial arts with some minor magic-y bullshit here and there.
Grounded in a similar way that like something like King and Asura is grounded.
Yeah, similar kind of power scaling level where people are just punching and kicking, but they're like barreling through walls and stuff. Like that kind of grounded. But but yeah, no. Episode 6 rolls around, people start pulling out giant god scythes, and and there's a guy whose power is just he has a shark, and he can summon the shark and eat you, and that's it.
That's great. That is. I don't see where. I know.
I've already watched that episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Man, I've already seen it.
There's a girl whose sword becomes a giant laser god sword from hell, and it's stupid. There's a guy who just pulls out a giant hammer from the ether space, which is like, I mean, those ones I can more accept. Like the sword and the hammer are slightly less egregious, but once the shark guy came in, I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
I don't know what you're complaining about, honestly. It's just mindless entertaining. And this is the thing. You don't seem to understand that
I don't like it when things are mindlessly entertaining, because that means I have to not think about it.
Why do you have to think, Frog?
Because that's what makes things fun and interesting to me.
Return the monkey.
Fuck monkeys. I will literally have sex with a monkey right now to prove you have
if the show had enough of a like emotional like kind of character building,
you don't need
kind of
emotional
like
character, because you know why? We're getting our dicks pulled around.
You need something to care about.
Can I please justify my? So if the show had like enough emotional investment in the characters to like kind of go off the rails and shit, and it was still like I'd still be interested in their arcs or whatever, I wouldn't mind that much. But it does not have that.
You want to know how great the lack of any like emotional attachment to anything this show is? The main character doesn't know who his parents are. His father or his grandfather hired 2 random actors to pose for a picture so that he wouldn't get bullied at elementary school.
I mean, that's an interesting thing, though. It's like, oh man, he lived such a weird life, so I want to learn more about that, but not enough.
Here's the thing, Frog. There's too many animes with Big Think this season, so it's good that we have a no-think anime.
What? There's only like 2 good shows this season.
Like, okay, there's plenty of Big Think animes. Like, there's Rent a Girlfriend is Big Think. Agretzko is actually Big Think. And
the only big thing I can think of is the other show I like, Decadence, and it's not that big thing. It's more like a whoa. It's more like a whoa factor, and then it's like, okay.
Decadence is very big thing.
Girlfriend is just a romantic comedy.
Dude,
what are you talking about Big Think?
It's Big Think, man. You got to think about these things. Like, there's a lot of visual storytelling, like on the ED when he's shaking that can of soda. That's insinuation that he's masturbating.
It's crazy.
And the girls are cheering him on while he jacks off.
Symbolism in general does not equate to Big Think.
It really does. No. I think you need to watch this movie called Midsummer, Frog.
There's symbolism in God of High School.
Anytime you can pick up on symbolism, I know it's not Big Think.
Look, okay, it's just Agretzko is Big Think, and yeah, you mentioned it. Decadence is Big Think this season.
It's medium think at most.
There's a lot of
Decadence is medium think, dude.
No, it's Big Think.
The Big Think is something like what's a Big Think show?
Like Lane.
The first season of Naruto.
Oh yeah, we can go with what we talked about last week. I think Perfect Blue is pretty Big Think.
There's nothing Big Think about Perfect Blue. It tells you everything.
In that episode, in the last episode, we literally spent how much time talking about how you thought it was confusing?
Well, no, I didn't think it was confusing. I watched the English dub, so of course I was confused. There was none of the subtle nuances.
To the English dub.
What else is Big Think? I think Kaiji's kind of Big Think in the sense that like its character implications, less of the gambling things. But I should say that it's Big Think in the sense of like trying to devise machinations.
Dude, Death Note is pretty Big
Here's the thing, Moth.
Death Note's pretty Big Think.
Me and Frog, we don't like Frog especially. Like I am way more cynical and critical than Frog is. We don't need something to be big or medium think for it to be good. We need it to be consistent with itself.
I just need to think.
Okay, you want to talk about... Okay, do you guys both like Fooly Cooly?
I like it to an extent.
Okay, there is nothing consistent about Fooly Cooly.
Yeah. No, it's consistent within itself.
No, there's no. Yeah, that's
thing is,
bullcrap. Like
I enjoy Fully Cooley a little bit. I don't love it. I feel like the thing is, it's like it's supposed to be this like really more kind of, at least the way I interpreted it, it was much more of a feel than a think.
Yeah, and that's exactly how God of High School is. It's more of a feel than a thing.
No,
feel
God of High School is the Fully Cooley of anime.
Let's see. What's
God of High School
feel?
is the Fully Cooley of shonens.
What is a feel? Well, I think Perfect Blue's a feel.
Perfect Blue's a think.
I think it has both. I think it has a nice balance.
No. You can either feel or you can think. There's logical and irrational.
Because here's the thing, like, because perfect. I think
that's irrational.
Okay, the way I should maybe define these terms a little better. A think should be something where you have to kind of what's the term? There's a word for this.
You have to think.
Where you have to think.
Yeah, I know.
You have to ponder on it.
Ruminate. You have to ruminate on something for a little bit to understand.
Ruminate is such a stupid word. Return to tradition and use ponder.
Ponder is fine. And a feel, I think, is just something that elicits a reaction or emotion in you, and you don't necessarily know why.
I just heard Mike's soul leave his body.
Why?
Well, yeah, because, I mean, Return to Tradition is literally a dog whistle for, like, people I don't want to attract.
Oh, sorry. I just thought it was a funny meme phrase.
No.
I mean, it is a funny meme phrase, but...
Yeah, it's a funny meme phrase, Mike. Nothing means anything anymore.
It is a super funny meme phrase for people who aren't awful human beings.
Are you calling me an awful human being because I lift weights?
No, because you just think it's a funny meme phrase. I'm not calling you an awful human being.
It's like the fucking... There's a lot
I'm
of...
being lampshaded here by Mike.
Let's not fucking let's not left pill the audience here. They didn't come here for this.
Blue pilled and cringe.
Mike is lamp ghosting me.
Like there is a reason why I am choosing not to talk about how decadence is a criticism for capitalism in this podcast, because it is, and I want to talk about that. But at the same time, no one's ready for that, and no one's gonna care.
Dude, but everything Japan does is an allegory for something. Akira is an entire allegory to the unsustainability of consumerism.
Every story is an allegory for something, though.
Like, who is I always forget, is Tetsuo the one that turns into the giant blob baby?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah. Tetsuo is he's symbolism for consumerism.
I haven't seen Akira, but we should do an episode on Akira. That'd be fun.
Yeah, we should. We will do that.
Mike is about to have a stroke. All right. Tell you what, you guys watch the movie. I'll read the manga.
Is there a manga for that?
Yes. Yeah, there is a manga. It is better but
I kind of want to see the movie because that's like the big thing that everyone knows.
Yeah. Watch the movie.
We would watch the movie because the manga is a lot longer, and it is completely different.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, okay, I got you. So is it not a good adaptation, but is it good in its own right?
No. It is good in its own right. It is an adaptation. It is an imperfect adaptation. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it is very impressive.
Cool. Okay. Well, I mean, I want to see it for that mostly, like because the animation's cool. They did that on ones. That's crazy to me. Like they animated that on ones, aka 24 frames per second. That's
it's well, if you look at some of the crowd scenes they do, like nothing else in Akira is as impressive as the fact that they have like just 3,000 people moving on frame for 20 seconds straight.
Yeah, I'll have to watch. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, what were you talking about? We'll do that.
Oh, right, out of high school.
You know what? Maybe we'll do Akira after we do the next seasonal episode.
Yeah,
which is Rurouni Kenshin. Oh wait,
no, the seasonal episode.
Yeah. Never mind. Forget that. We do. Before we get into things, though, I did want to talk about something that I know neither of you are watching, but you should, and it's Agretzko.
I understand Agretzko. I didn't watch it, but
well,
I watched the first season.
It looks fine.
There's something that I really hate, and it's the fact that almost all animes have to focus on high school students. Like,
I agree with this.
It's the worst.
It's oversaturated. That's fair.
Yeah, it's oversaturated. Like, oh look, it's a high school shonen battle anime. Woo! It's
for sure.
I can't think of any good examples right now, but that's a thing. Like, it's just everything is high school battle shonens, and it's dumb.
There's a lot of those.
Yeah. So Agretzko is nice because not only does it talk about adults, but it goes the same route as like Love is Hard for a wotaku.
Yeah, totally. I get the idea. Like of more adult-centric shows are kind of refreshing.
Speaking of which, you know that has a second season coming up, right?
Agretzko?
Based.
No, Love is Hard for a wotaku.
I don't know that one.
Why do you say wotaku?
Because that's what it's called. Love is Hard for a wotaku. It's a working otaku.
Oh, I haven't heard that. I haven't heard of that show, but Sure.
Yeah,
It's really good. It's
what's
fantastic.
great is it has 4 nerds who are completely different nerds. Like, the main boyfriend is a big-time gamer who loves stuff like Monster Hunter World, which is great because his little brother is god-awful at video games, and then his god-awful soon-to-be tomboy boyfriend, tomboy girlfriend, sorry, is, like, really good at video games and horribly patient with him because of how stupid he is.
Yeah.
And then the main girl, what is she like? Is she...
She's like
boy
BL
love.
manga.
Yeah, she loves boys love. And then her best friend is a boys love cross player who's relatively famous in their circles. And she's a mangaka too, isn't she?
I don't know.
But then her boyfriend is in love with Idol, or not Idol, Maho Shoujos. So you have like 4 completely different quadrants of the nerd otaku fandom all socializing and interacting and showing like how difficult it is to find love while you're at the job site.
And it even features a really positive portrayal of a normie.
Is that the brother?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well no, the brother's not a normie. The brother's just great.
Oh fuck, he's a total normie.
Brother is a himbo.
No, he's a fucking okay. What is a himbo but a normie?
Are you kidding me? I'm a himbo and I'm not a normie.
Okay.
Like that's offensive. Like just because we're stupid and strong doesn't mean we don't have passion.
I mean, normies have
Wait,
passion. What do you think a normie is?
Normies weren't passionate.
They're not.
Do you assume normies are like zombie?
Yes, they don't have inner voice.
I would not be surprised if you didn't have inner voice. You would just, protein powder, monkey, return to tradition.
You know, I wouldn't have an inner voice if not for the fact that my anxiety is my inner voice. And so, like, I constantly am self-reflecting because I'm constantly being told by myself I'm not good enough and that my wife is going to leave me and that my parents only have, like, 10 years left and I'm just suffering.
Speaking of suffering, tell us about Agretsuko Season 3.
Season 3 is great in a lot of ways. I definitely liked it better than Season 2. My biggest issue is they decided to go away from adults acting like adults to get a dream, like a happy sequence. And this is spoiler. I'm going to announce spoilers right now. The big thing in Agretsuko is Agretsuko coming out on her own because she's been steadily trying to come out of her own for 3 seasons now. It's her coming out of her own and Haida getting over her because she rejected him at the end of Season 1 and he's basically been simping for her ever since. And the entire plot goes with Haida basically settling down with a really, really nice girl who's really good for him. And
nice.
At the end of the show, and this is your spoiler, Agretsuko makes absolutely 0 character progress, and it's kind of implied that her and Haida are dating at the end, or at least going to try to start dating, because something happens that forces Haida to choose Agretsuko over his stable, happy relationship. And it's such a kick in the dick, because in that very scene where he chooses Agretsuko over the other girl makes the decision for him, and he goes, just so you know, if she didn't get stabbed by a stalker, I probably would have chosen you instead. And it's just like, this is garbage. I'm dumb. I want to go home and draw a picture of Haida just drinking from a sippy cup that says dumb bitch juice.
That might already exist.
Yeah.
So it's Season 3 is very frustrating in a lot of ways, but I'm pretty sure Baby Metal did the music for it.
That's cool.
That's kind of like my issue with Agretsuko. Like, even at the end of Season 1, it just reset itself back to like the status quo.
It keeps resetting itself over and over and over again. And Season 3 reset itself again.
Like, compared to a similar type show, like, compared to BoJack Horseman, a show that never stops changing.
Are you kidding me? BoJack Horseman consistently remains the same throughout the whole show. In fact, it's only in the last 3 episodes that anything changes.
Yeah, but the show itself is like, it doesn't try and I can't talk today. What the fuck? It doesn't like try and show you that he is making big changes and then resetting. It's showing you fucking up the big changes. But in like Agretsuko, like literally Season 1 ends and then she's like, well, I guess I'll go back to normal now. Like,
that's Season 2 and that's Season 3. I almost believe it's because it's Sanrio, and Sanrio can't let their plushes do anything productive.
Oh, it's 100% that, and also like we can't criticize our own culture too hard. Like, well, let's just call working trash.
Yeah, And it's very, very frustrating. The one thing I do like is there's one sequence, and I posted this on Twitter, but because you guys don't watch Agretzko, you don't see it. But it starts with her joining like an underground idol group, and that underground idol group looks so similar to the idol group in Perfect Blue. It's not even funny. Like, I think it's even down to the costumes. They look exactly the same. And one of their three biggest fans, and their three biggest fans ended up becoming security for the shows later on. Like, they end up doing security and keeping people from rushing the stage. But one of their fans is this horse-faced looking asshole with, like, one of his eyes covered by his long, black, greasy hair. And it is meme mania. I am 100% positive it is a huge nod at meme mania. Because even at the very end of the show, when they're standing around doing security and they're talking to him like, oh yeah, good job doing security today, he's wearing blue and red 3D glasses. It's like,
you posted this on
right.
Twitter.
Yeah, like they can't even, like, it's not even a subtle nod by the end.
It is pretty similar looking. Hang on, I'll post the tweet that Moth put.
Yeah,
I've already seen it.
Yeah,
okay.
we've all seen it.
It looks pretty,
unfortunately,
pretty similar.
They are, and it's like pretty much the exact same thing. Like, Agretzko, I'll love you forever, blah, 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 all that crap. Like, it's perfect. The only thing is he doesn't become psychotic and try to kill one of them.
Not
cringe.
based.
Yeah, well, it's freaking Sanrio.
I don't know, man. I think it'd be pretty cool to see a Sanrio character just get fucking killed. That'd be dope.
Pog.
By the way, it is killing me, like, the waifu war that goes on for Agretzko. Like, cause there's a lot of good male and female characters in Agretzko. Definitely more good female characters, but this, I think he was a cheetah, he might have been a leopard, but their stage manager, who's managing the idol group, is gonna be a huge husbando this season. The fact that Gory doesn't get more affection, like, Gory as a character, just makes me so sad.
I don't know, man. The only character we're talking about is Fenico.
You know, Fenico's pretty good too, because, and my wife actually has an opinion about Fenico. She's like, everybody likes to idolize Fenico until they meet her in real life, and then guys are, like, intimidated by Fenico.
Oh, no. I like her because she would intimidate me.
Okay, there's a difference between weird fetish boners and actually getting along with someone.
That's not a fetish boner. That's just a dynamic, baby.
No, like, you can't say your fetishes are a dynamic.
What? Fetishes are intrinsically a dynamic. If you have
but are you telling me that
people.
you are defined by your fetishes?
No. I mean, sex. I mean,
are
technically
you,
speaking, sexually, most people are defined by a fetish.
Are you going so far into your id that you're just saying, like, I am who I am because this gives me a boner? Are you letting your boner control you, Mike?
Moth, would you be like literally attraction is based on fetishes? Would you be as attracted to your wife if she wasn't a big titty golf GF?
Absolutely, because the only reason we originally even got along is because we liked video games. I would go over to her house with my Wii and we would just play Monster Hunter 3 the whole time.
I mean, yes, there's more like in relationships, but I'm talking about attraction.
No, your argument just fell to pieces, and you're trying to backpedal.
No, it didn't. I'm talking about attraction, not relationships.
In fact, for a long time, I wasn't even physically attracted to my wife, because she was just a really good friend, and I was like, holy crap, I could be in a relationship with this woman and be happy, and so we did.
I'm gonna clip that little bit of audio and weaponize it, baby.
You can weaponize it all you want because my wife knows because we've talked about this.
I wasn't even attracted to my wife.
Here's the thing. My wife, same thing. She wasn't attracted to me for a long time. And then all of a sudden she's like, holy crap, this guy's so stupid. I love it.
No, I understand this. I feel like I'm more attracted to someone the more I get to know them.
You were born after 1995. You don't know what attraction is outside OnlyFans, Frog.
What?
He was agreeing with you, you dumb bitch.
I don't want him to agree with me. I don't want either of you to ever agree with me.
I was just saying I find it more attractive when I actually get to know somebody. Then I kind of feel more attached.
You know what? That is actually pretty good. That's pretty basic.
That's all I was saying. That's the only thing I was... Why did you get so aggressive?
Because I don't like it when you agree with me, because that means I'm doing something wrong.
What?
No, it means you're doing something right. That's a good thing. We reward you when you agree with us.
That sounds a little weird. The way you phrase that sounds dogmatic.
Speaking of rewarding, I read a really good rewarding manga that was really good.
Oh, yeah,
and it's new.
What is it?
It's called Kaiju Number 8.
Oh yeah, you're going to talk about that.
Have either of you heard of this?
I heard of it because I keep seeing ads for it on Twitter.
So, like, this is brand new. I think it only has 8 chapters out. I normally don't jump into something that's not complete, as we've talked about before, because I just hate waiting. But...
Oh, wait, my wife watched this, or my wife read this.
Most manga I completely jump off of because they end up not being interesting because...
Yeah, the art on this is really good.
The art is amazing, dude! So basically the story of this manga is that there's a 33-year-old, like service worker, and his job is to clean up after, like, kaiju battles. So a giant monster gets fucking destroyed, and he goes in, and he's part of the cleanup crew that has to, like, clean it up and make it so that they can, like, actually rebuild the city. And in so doing, he... gets attacked by a kaiju, and his childhood best friend is on, like, the anti-kaiju, like, task force, and actually saves him. And in his regret from, like, not being able to, like, be with her to help her protect things, like, he's sitting in the hospital with a broken-ass leg because the kaiju fucking destroyed him. And this weird fucking kaiju, like, snake thing appears, says, "That's you," jumps down his throat, and he turns into a human-sized kaiju. And the design is fucking sick,
let's just admit he looks like a human-sized Titan, please.
Oh, I can see that. To me, it looked more like a mix between a Titan and a Hollow from Bleach.
Yeah, that's fair.
And like
it looks pretty cool. I'm looking at him right now.
Yeah, he's also like a really cool character. He has a great personality. He kind of reminds me of Kaiman from Dorohedoro, if anything. Just like how expressive he is. Yeah.
Dorohedoro? It is very important to me that you say it right, Mike.
You say so many things wrong. It's not... You don't get to do that.
But this manga, I only read 3 chapters. But it is super fucking great. The dynamic between all the characters is really interesting. And the action is fucking nuts good.
I'm seeing some panels right here on Google Images. These look pretty cool.
There's this great...
Who illustrates this? Is it the same as the author?
It's the same author.
Okay,
I'm surprised I've never seen anything... Like, I looked up some other stuff that he did, and neither of them sound like standout. I'm going to check him out, though, because I really like this.
Well, it's the same thing as the guy who did Golden Kamui. Like, the previous manga he did had just been about a freaking hockey team, and it did very poorly. And then he did Golden Kamui.
One of this dude's last manga is just about a girl who was raised by cat gods, and now she's trying to make people's wishes come true with cat god magic.
See, that's actually pretty baller. Wholesome.
Matsumoto Naoya. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, he hasn't worked on that much stuff. I'm surprised. I think this manga could be really big.
So it's like his breakout thing.
Yeah, I hope it catches on just like Chainsaw Man did for my man.
It's kind of. I think Shonen Jump is shilling it really hard because I keep seeing ads for it. So
it could.
You know what? Normally, like, whenever... it's really weird. I don't see that many... I'm not, like, that tapped into manga Twitter, but I don't see anyone really talking about this.
I think Nicole mentioned it once. Maybe.
It's really nuts, because this seems right up everyone's alley. It has...
Yeah, I was going to read it soon. I kept meaning to get around to it. But, you know.
It's incredibly good. I really recommend this fucking manga. It's got great art. It's got great characters. I really like the interactions.
Great fart.
And the first chapter is like 54 pages, and it really gives it enough time to breathe and be its own thing.
Yeah.
I really recommend that everyone try and check that out whenever they get a chance to. With that said, I think you wanted to talk about something with She-Ra, Moth?
Oh yeah, so just side Twitter drama, and this is the worst side of Twitter. Next to political Twitter, which is actually the worst side of Twitter, this weird cancel culture that doesn't actually do anything but makes people who are genuine feel bad. It really saddens me.
We're not talking about this right now.
This is. I'm
so tired of talking about cancel culture and
cancel culture
and trying to just make people.
What would you call it then? Like I would call it cancel culture.
I'd call it what things have been happening for the past forever. Is people doing things and people calling them out for it. There's nothing cancelly about it.
So the She-Ra team among themselves, I guess they're pretty decent friends. You kind of have to be friends with people you work with. They were making jokes about the characters, and they were redrawing the characters and making puns about it. And one of the characters on the show is named Bo. And his whole thing is he uses a bow and arrow.
A bow and arrow.
He's an archer. He's Bo.
Very creative naming scheme.
I don't know if it was him, I don't actually remember, or one of his siblings, but they redrew him in farmer's attire and named him So, because that's what farmers do. They sow crops.
Pretty funny.
And I guess enough people managed to take it the wrong way and think it was a reference to slavery?
I guess I could see
that the
it.
show's creator had to publicly apologize that people were offended?
I mean, I guess... I mean, is that the whole story?
That's the whole entire story.
That seems fine.
And the person who drew the picture originally felt like awful. It's like, why should you feel bad? You didn't do anything wrong.
Well, I mean, there can be, like...
I mean, they didn't do anything wrong necessarily, but they could be apologizing just for having made people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Like, if you do something that offends people, it's probably a good idea to say, hey, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry about that.
But, like, you don't have to, like, think you did a wrong thing, necessarily. Like, I could, like...
No, don't apologize. Don't ever apologize.
I could criticize somebody, and even if it's
you
well-intentioned, and I don't think it's necessarily wrong for saying it, if they feel, like, upset that I said it, I can still be like, I'm sorry.
No, they did nothing wrong, and they shouldn't have to apologize because people took it the wrong way.
I agree they did nothing wrong, but there's nothing wrong. But I don't think they had to apologize, but it's fine
No,
that they did.
They didn't, and the fact that they did is, like, terrible. Don't apologize. You did nothing wrong.
Why?
No.
In any scenario. I don't
No,
know.
because
I don't
then
know
you just
which
become a yes
scenario
man.
apologizing would be bad, unless you actually did something fine and you're only trying to cover your water with people who are not fine.
Apologizing's bad. The only time you should apologize is when you accidentally run over your neighbor's pit bull again.
How do you do it twice if he's already dead?
To be honest with you, I actually just put it back into drive and did it again.
That's pretty funny. I don't know. Apologizing's fine. Sure.
Yeah.
Apologizing is fucking...
But do you apologize to a wolf because you don't taste good enough for the wolf? Like, no, you don't.
What does that have to do with this?
Are you
equivocating being eaten to having someone criticize your work?
It wasn't even criticism. It's like, how can you be so racist?
That's criticism.
Yes.
But there's nothing racist about it.
I mean, that's the thing. There can be seen racial implications in the thing they did.
There could be seen racial implications in everything, Mike.
Yes.
Like I can apply black makeup to my face and then go out in public and just say, what? It's just a face mask. But if people are offended, like it looks like I am doing the mammy bit.
No, at that point you're just a Tyler the Creator music video.
No, I'm just an old Shane Dawson video.
But yeah, I really wanted to hit on the She-Ra drama. It's like this is why I was so hesitant to get on Twitter for so long, because like, man, I just want to read funny comments all day and see
really
people make memes.
It's really not that much of Twitter.
It is all of Twitter.
Here's the deal, Moth. If you do something and it offends people, and then you say, "Hey, sorry, I didn't mean it that way. I'll try and be better in the future," and then you move on, there's no drama. There's a reason why the only reason I 100% believe the only reason you even heard of this drama is because you follow people that get mad at drama like this.
No, like, actually, I want to say our buddy Det is the only reason I know about it.
What did they say? Hang on,
no, he probably just.
Oh no! Oh no!
No, actually, I actually unfollowed a lot of people, Mike, just because I was like, man, these people post way too much about politics, and I'm here to have a good time and talk about anime.
That's fine.
You almost never talk about anime on your Twitter.
No, my Twitter is mostly just me screaming at the wall. That's what I like. It is stress relief. It's stuff I can't post on my Facebook.
That's fine. You may continue.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, you can just not look at political Twitter. That's fine. You can unfollow people if you don't want to do that. Like, I don't follow people who are friends with me just because they post things I don't want to see. That's fine.
I follow them. I just mute them.
That's fair. That's fair too. You can do that too. But I don't know.
Man, life is so much more than getting angry.
Politics is kind of well, that's the thing. Okay, we're not going to get into this. No, we're not going to get into the morality of
no, you don't need to get angry about things. You can just lift a heavy weight and feel better.
Again, I'm not going to get into the morality of privilege and things right now.
I mean, I completely agree. Maybe people shouldn't be so reactionary towards things that they shouldn't be reactionary towards. How about that? Let's go that direction.
I don't think anyone's reactionary towards anything.
People should just lift heavy weights, Mike.
Just do what you want.
No, just lift heavy weights.
No, do what they say in God of High School. Do what you want. That's the cool thing about that show. Before it got bad. I like that. It sounds stupid when he said it. Like, my quote is "do what you want," but yeah, do what you want.
Yeah, do what you want.
Just do what you want. That's actually the best thing I've ever heard in my life.
So now to actually talk about what we came to talk about this week,
all right.
We're going to talk about the two One Piece movies. So, the Island of Baron Omatsuri and One Piece Storm World.
Strong World, yeah.
Yes.
Storm.
First
Storm
off,
World.
Moth, please do us a favor and introduce us to the world of One Piece.
So the world of One Piece started in, I want to say 1999, but at this point, I don't even know anymore.
One Piece release date. I'm Googling.
Do it.
1999.
Yeah, I got it right. I didn't actually know about it until it went on sale for my PS Vita, One Piece Pirate Warriors 3, back in 2013.
It's such a weird introduction to One Piece.
And I played that game and I was like, man, this dude with a blue pompadour is pretty damn baller. And hey, this dude in a freaking flamingo jacket is pretty baller. I think I want to watch One Piece. So I got to my wife, I'm like, hey wifey, you want to watch One Piece? She's like, So then we watched 930 episodes of One Piece.
And you're like, man, why the fuck isn't this popular guy in here for 800 episodes?
No, actually, Frankie comes in, I want to say, episode, because they actually did pace it relatively well until after Ocean 7. And then the whole, Sky P... Well, no. Sky
Yeah, because they ran out of manga
Ocean 7.
at some point.
Yeah, no, they do filler worse than Dragon Ball ever could.
Yeah,
In
they
fact,
kind of have to because they're still going weekly to this day.
Well, it's that thing where it's I don't know if I want One Piece to go the Hero Academia route where they just condense everything into two 26 episode seasons, or if I just want them to keep going because it's tradition at this point, and I want them to beat Detective Conan.
I think Detective Conan's still going though. I don't think it'll ever beat it unless
Detective
it stops.
Conan will never end.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't think it can beat it unless Detective Conan also stops.
Yeah, but so One Piece is the most popular shonen of all time. It has actually beat out... in Japan, it has beat out Dragon Ball Z. The only reason I think Dragon Ball Z has more international appeal is because all of Brazil loves Dragon Ball Z.
I think it's more so with the fact that it was the first shonen, shonen to have a big dub.
Yeah, and it was also the one with battle, and it was the first real battle shonen that did the training arcs and stuff like that. So it is the most popular I think in all time with Japan, and it has outsold Dragon Ball Z at every turn. It has made more money in video games and figures and actual raw mangas sold. It has outsold Dragon Ball, but it's just not as universally popular. It is the number one shonen. It proves that pirates are better than ninjas, hands down.
Pirates are cool.
I mean, that's just
inherent, honestly. Pirates are better than ninjas because pirates are the coolest. But
yeah, don't give it up,
cringe
Luffy.
Take. Pirates are lame.
This is actually the worst take I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, holy crap, Mike. Could you be any more wrong?
Ninjas are cool and all, don't get me wrong. But
yeah,
pirates, they get scurvy. They're a bucket full of gay boys on a ship, which is not as basic.
No, you know what? Here's why pirates are the coolest. You know what the coolest thing is in the world? The ocean.
Yeah.
You know who rides the ocean?
The ocean's terrifying.
Yes, that's why it's so cool, and they're so brave for traversing it.
Pirates are cool, man.
But pirates are awesome.
But yeah, it's the most popular. It's the most popular shonen of all time.
I actually based my D&D campaign around a similar concept to One Piece of going around to different islands and exploring and having an arc there. So
5e actually has a module you can plug into play One Piece.
I do use it. Yes.
Okay, just make sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, as far as that goes, it is phenomenal. So I had Mike and I had Frog watch two very polarizing movies. And polarizing, I just mean they are completely different from each other. Yeah. We have the traditional One Piece plotline that was written by Oda, One Piece Strong World, which to this day still has Figma lines made on it.
Really?
And then we have, yes, it is the...
Dude,
cool. They changed costumes 4 times in that movie.
They did do. It was kind of cool.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and then we have what I would think is the most technically perfect and the most interesting One Piece movie, which is The Island of Baron Omatsuri.
Yeah.
And so, now, before we go into it, which one did you guys like more?
I liked Baron Omatsuri more.
Okay. I liked Omatsuri more as well.
Okay. My only issue, and I said this last week, My only issue with Baron Matsuri is Frankie isn't in it.
That's fair. I actually really liked Brooks when I watched fucking Strong World, so I was hoping he would be in it, but he wasn't there.
No. Oh wait, he wasn't in Strong World?
No, he was in Strong World. I was hoping he would be in.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say,
Baron
I was like, am I having a stroke right now?
Yeah, he's really cool.
Like, am I having a stroke right now? Like,
No, he's in Strong World. I'm just saying he wasn't in Baron Matsuri.
It's like, great. Now I know that I really got the weird Brazilian dubs. Where they just cut video from Thriller Bark to make it look like Brooke is there.
But yeah, let's start with Strong World, since it is like honestly, if you somehow are listening to this, if you've never watched or read One Piece, if you were gonna like pick one of these to watch, I would say you should watch Strong World.
Yeah, if you're gonna watch like one of the movies, I guess, or at least one of the two movies that we watched. You guys can go first, actually.
Yeah, so One Piece Strong World, and just it really is like, if you've never ever seen anything One Piece and you just want a crash course on what One Piece is, that is it right there.
Yeah, sure.
Strong World is One Piece. And it was written by Oda. It's 100%, I think it's the only movie Oda actually wrote the plot for. And it is just One Piece. Like, I think it's actually technically canon too.
One Piece condensed into a short couple hours.
Yep.
2 hours.
Yeah.
And it's got very much like it's very atypical to a One Piece arc, where at the beginning everyone's having fun, it's joyous, stuff is wacky and zany, Luffy gets his ass beat, everybody reflects on things, the stakes get raised, and then Luffy pulls through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but
right.
Fun fact, Frieza's voice actor is in it.
Who's he play?
Oh, is he the clown?
He's the clown.
Oh, the clown
Yeah.
dude? Oh my god, that fucking guy.
Now, here's the thing. He did such a good job with the clown that they brought him back to be Gaster in
Undertale.
In the Undertale. No, in later seasons of One Piece, he comes back as the actual. He's a devil fruit user, a very powerful devil fruit user, and the main scientist just under the other guy. I can't remember his name. Names are escaping me. Vegapunk. He is the main scientist under Vegapunk.
I wish I knew what that was, but I got you.
Yeah.
So, for Strong World, I have mostly minor criticisms. Like for example, like this is just a minor one, and I can't fault it because it's the 10th movie in
I was
going to
say, let me ask
should have
you.
started with the manga or anime. But there are some things I don't think they properly explain, like why, like for example, I don't think it properly explains that devil fruit users can't swim. Like that is a part of their power trade-off.
And there's actually there's a lot of theories in the fan rumor mill about why that everything is the way it is. The number one theory right now is that the world actually used to be connected into continents. That used to be the world like we live in today. Then Devil Fruit showed up, and those guys were wrecking havoc. So they just nuked the tectonic plates to segregate the island so that pirates, so that people who had Devil Fruits could never become too powerful.
Right.
But the one though, like this is a criticism that I watched the movie and I had earbuds in, so I don't know if either of y'all listened with earbuds in, but the sound mixing, especially for the effects, was all over the place.
It was a little weird.
It's not as bad as 1980s British television, but it is pretty bad.
Like some of it was really good, but like every single time Shiki takes a step, it's the exact same sword sound
of like ting ting ting.
I actually feel like that was done as a joke.
I mean, the fart feet were pretty like
yeah.
I don't know if you can say like I will say like the one time he walks and you don't hear the sound effect is in a serious scene. But at the end of that scene, the clown walks into the room, does the gesture thing
dissolves
he does,
all tension.
Gesture, and instead of Shiki going, "Just talk," he goes, "I understand."
Yeah.
And then he walks away, and the punchline is, "He understood."
God, I hate that fucking clown.
It's One Piece, dude. It's just, here's the thing though, Frog, if you actually just mindlessly forced yourself to watch One Piece like I did, those types of characters would actually be very endearing to you.
If you didn't pay attention, you might enjoy something.
It's One Piece. Like once you get to the Whole Cake Island arc, which is actually a pretty
I
good
understand the appeal for these characters, but I'm
and
not
you find
for
out
anymore.
a
I'm
woman
sorry.
obsessed with eating food. All of her children have devil fruit powers that either conjure food or are very food
That's
related.
cool. I understand that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about there's a guy whose whole joke is that when he takes a step on the ground, it makes a fart sound, and that's the whole joke.
And there
And
are
that's
parts
fine.
Of the movie
I was
where you
laughing
have
at the
to take
first
that
bit because it's so
seriously.
ridiculous. But it's all those every time there's like a tense scene, it is completely dissolved by the fart clown guy going.
Because it's a comedy shonen.
And it's the exact same fart
It's the
noise
exact
every time.
same fart noise every time he steps.
Like
God.
I would, you know what? I wouldn't even mind if he just occasionally had fart noises, or like, like it varied up a little bit. Like when you sit on a whoopee cushion, it don't sound the same every time.
Yeah, it'd be cool if there was different kinds of fart. Maybe like made a big prolonged step and it went like, you know what I mean?
And like I am not even criticizing the fact that he has fart shoes. I just think the sound, and it's not only there. Like there were a few cases where sword slashes sounded really weird, and like animal effects were really overbearing and poorly mixed. Like the sound design was all over the place in the movie. It was really, for me, distracting.
I didn't find that distracting, but to be fair, I was watching this with Nicole, and we were just kind of talking throughout the whole movie. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I do think, though, this movie has, like, almost every character
Yeah,
gets
it does.
their moment.
And that's the thing. Like, a lot of the One Piece movies are supposed to just be, like, highlights of, like, man, I love this character and he didn't get enough, like, screen time in the last few arcs. Oh, man, I get to see him do, like, 5 minutes. Like, you got to see a whole, I think, 10 minutes at the very beginning of Frankie and Robin just dicking around together. And that's for big fans like me, like that's the kind of content we love to see.
But at the same time, if you watch this movie, you would probably assume that Nami is just a damsel and that's all she is.
She really has become that in later seasons, though.
That
like she was
sucks.
originally the super cool cat burglar character.
Yeah, no, actually, because I read an early One Piece up to chapter 100 or so, right around where Arlong Park is, which is her big thing.
Yeah.
And well, here's the thing I noticed. Actually, it was kind of funny. Basically, since I started reading around Arlong Park, the most I've experienced of Nami is that she has betrayed the team 3 times.
She's betrayed the team a lot.
Apparently, it doesn't happen any time between now and this movie, or then in this movie. But just based on the way I experienced it, it seems like that's her entire character. Is just every once in a while she goes to some other team.
She doesn't. Not anymore.
No, I
She
know.
hasn't done that in
There's just a weird
yeah.
gap in the way I experienced it. It kind of made it funny.
Even Robin, who doesn't come off looking super weak in the movie, like the one moment when she has a moment is when she uses like her arm fruit powers to tie up a moth's wings, but then the poison from the moth hits her and she keels over and that's it.
I mean, I like the part where she passes the dynamite around. That was funny.
There's a huge issue with Robin in the fact that as a crowd control user, there's nobody stronger than her on the team.
Yeah.
Like, straight up, she can take out 1,000 grunts like it's nothing. And the thing is, when she was introduced, she had no issue snapping necks. She killed people by the scores by breaking their necks.
Oh yeah, like she was my, like, I read through One Piece all the way up through the Crocodile, like, Alabaster arc.
Yeah, and that's when you were seeing her break necks. As soon as she joins Luffy, the neck breaking stops.
Like, she's super cool in that arc. I love her.
Yeah, the neck breaking has stopped.
Also,
like,
I forgot. You posted an image in the chat just now of Frankie wearing a banana helmet with a gun on it. I was really hoping he would use the banana gun at some point.
The funny thing is, the best arc Frankie has, I think, ever gotten, at least in my opinion, is he got this huge arc in the Dressrosa where him and a dude dressed as a baby, which has a really depressing backstory behind it, just trust me on this one, just slap the crap out of each other for 20 episodes straight. They just have a slapping contest.
Yeah.
Wild.
And it is the best I've seen with Frankie in years, is just him slapping the crap out of a man dressed as a baby so his comatose wife will smile at him.
For 20 actual episodes?
Yeah, like, it just, they're having
Can't imagine spending half
I
a
hate
year
you.
on that.
It's Frieza on crack.
It's
6
I
months.
hit you, then you hit me, then I hit you, and then one of us falls down and I win. Like, they actually let the other one hit them.
I know, I got you.
Yeah. It's great. And I love Frankie. I'm sorry. Robin, and this is a big issue with a lot of women on the show, is the women are only strong until Luffy comes in. And then they start being weak. And so, like I said, Robin, phenomenal assassin, great character, could probably solo pretty much anybody who's not using, like, the colors to guard their body. and we never see her do anything. We actually,
kinda
in the
weird.
Wano arc, we saw her in the Wano arc actually start to use her abilities again. And it's the same thing with Nami. We're seeing them use their abilities again, but that's only because Luffy's in prison right now.
Yeah, it was a super big letdown for me as someone who, like, I'm not a big fan of One Piece, but I still like a lot of the characters, and I love Nami, and to see her, I remember, I was like, oh man, maybe she's just weak because she doesn't have her weather staff. Fine, okay. But then, like, she gets to, because that's my frame of reference for her. She has a weather staff. That's really cool. But
Yeah,
then
that
she
Usopp
eventually
made for
does
her.
get it, and she does nothing with it, and just gets fucking bamfed.
Yeah. And that's I don't know if it's because the cast is so big or what, or is it because, like, Oda is an old-timey writer, but the only women who I think actually have done anything recently would have to be Sanji's sister. I think that's the only woman I remember seeing recently who's done anything, like, useful.
Please tell me that Sanji's sister's thing is that she's super cock hungry.
She's super cock hungry for Luffy.
Based?
There's...
I'm saying, if Luffy ever did third gear on his dick, that would destroy a lady.
I mean, you're not wrong. There's actually, once again, once you go deep enough into the fandom that I'm in, there's a character called Jewelry Bonnie, whose entire thing is she's a massive glutton because her devil fruit requires a ton of calories to operate. So everybody's like, man, Luffy's always, like, proposed to all these other pirate queens and stuff. It's like, meanwhile, the chick who can out-eat Luffy and him never get any scenes together.
Oh, that's
Because that's Luffy's gag, is the fact that all he does is eat.
because his fruit needs a lot of calories, I guess.
It must. No, he's just a glutton. He's been a glutton since he was a kid. They established that.
They should make Brook in every movie. He's funny.
Oh, why? Okay, that's another thing. Like, almost every character gets their own scene. Brook gets like 2.5. Like, he's so cool.
I love him.
Well, Brook actually gets a huge scene once again in Whole Cake Island. He fights one of the Yonkos, which the Yonkos are currently the big bads of the series.
I would read
He
the entirety of
solos a
it just to
Yonko.
get to the Brook parts, honestly.
And you know what?
I
Thriller
might.
Bark is all about Brook. Brook ends up as the world's #1 pop star, actually. He's got a bounty on his head, and
That's
he's the
awesome.
world's #1 pop star.
Yeah.
He's called Soul King.
I like
and
how he
everybody
wears a
knows
bunch of
who he
Jamaica
is.
shit in the second movie.
Yeah.
In the Strong World movie.
Yeah, so that's the Strong World, and that is an atypical One Piece movie. Now let's go to the one where guys like, I don't know anything about One Piece, but I want to make a movie about it.
So
The Island of Baron Omatsuri, which has some of the most stunning, like, just still frame visuals I've seen in a long time.
Very cool.
So Baron Matsuri was directed by my man Mamoru Hosoda from Summer Wars and the Wolf movie, Wolf Children fame. This movie, especially the beginning, is great. 100% awesome.
Yeah.
And
Well,
every character, like, in the first, like, real scene, in the fish catching one,
I love that one.
every character gets a moment.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. That's actually, that is very, very, very much to the point of every One Piece, even arc, is that everybody has this thing that they do. Like, and then the arc steadily goes on, and it just becomes Luffy being Luffy.
Yeah.
That's how this movie worked out. One of my favorite moments, because like, I'm familiar with, oh my god,
What
the
are you
comedy
doing?
relief character. Can't remember his name off the top of my head for some reason.
Usopp?
Usopp, thank you. I remember Usopp's like big thing is that he's a liar and he's kind of bad at it, but he still convinces people. And in the first scene, when he's like, "I'm the master of catching fish," and he even convinces Chopper, and then he's like, "Nah, I'm lying." Like, I was actually laughing super hard whenever that happened.
That was funny.
This movie is fucking... It's awesome. It's insane. It tone shifts a little too quickly, and then it's just like kind of a shonen movie with an eldritch monster.
To be fair, the monster is really cool looking.
It's a flower.
Yeah, it's neat. It's like a really weird, not high concept, but like abstract.
The big like standout segments though are everything leading up to the dinner fight.
Yeah.
And the dinner fight's pretty cool too.
The dinner fight's phenomenal. I don't want to actually spoil this movie because this movie has the weirdest twist that doesn't have to deal with the devil fruit that I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's very out of nowhere. I mean, we can talk. I mean, we kind of made this whole thing. We even we gave everyone 2 weeks in advance. We can talk about the ending after like a certain point if you want.
Yeah, sure, but it's baller. That's for sure.
Yeah,
it's definitely in. So this movie has all over it like Mamoru Hosoda's like key thing, and it's reframed in One Piece. Like if you watch a Hosoda film, the big theme is always family.
Yeah.
That's why they gave him a One Piece movie, and he's like, okay, let's change the word family to friend. And that's all they did.
Namaka. I don't know if you guys read the same subs I did, but they wouldn't. We didn't dare translate
Nakama?
it.
No,
They always said
Nakama is like
Nakama.
a crew that is more than a crew.
Yeah.
It's literally just best friend. That's all Nakama means.
My Nakama.
It's really like the movie. I really don't know how to describe. Like once the tone shifts, I stop enjoying it as much, even though it starts going into some cool ideas.
I feel like it was underdeveloped, the cool ideas thing. It was just kind of came out at the last like third of the movie. It didn't have much time to flesh out.
I feel like they needed to do one more like trial in order to like flesh out their separation.
Here's
like,
the thing: I enjoyed this movie more than the other one, but I have much more to say about how I didn't like it. Is that weird?
Well, yeah, because it's a very polarizing movie.
Yeah, I guess.
I think me and Frog are just typically more critical of things we really enjoy.
Maybe that's it. I don't even think I really enjoyed it. I think it was a lot more fun than the other one. I still enjoyed the other one a lot. Well, maybe not a lot, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Although I kind of felt like it got a little melodramatic. Well, actually, no. I think that this one got way more melodramatic. What am I talking about?
Yeah. Considering by the end of this, it's literally like death and sadness.
Yeah, I mean, like that was. I think it was annoying me, like trying to convince me that this filler movie was going to kill off characters, like as if.
No, of course it's not going to kill off characters, but it's the only filler movie I've seen where I actually like had a quick moment of disbelief.
I will say, like it's clearly not going to clear off the main characters, but like it definitely does have that level of tension where I kind of like Berserk, right? When you read Berserk, you know Guts isn't going to die.
No.
But the action that happens in it is so tense where you're like, wow, is he actually going to die? And then you finish the chapter and you're like, he was never going to die. What am I, an idiot? And that's kind of how it feels.
That's a different thing, though, right? Because in Berserk, I think it's more about, like... Well, I haven't read Berserk, actually, so I shouldn't say. But like in something like maybe like Vinland Saga, I'm sorry. Like Thorfinn's not going to die. Obviously, he's the main character, but it's more so about the pain inflicted upon him that is what hurts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that is exactly what like this movie ends up doing, wherein it becomes like his
Nakama.
Luffy's friends get taken away from him, and you get to see the dread and anguish on his face as their bodies get absorbed into an eldritch god.
It's pretty cool.
Which is super, super good conceptually. Like,
I think the actual like concept of the dude who like resurrects his friends into like weird plant people by sacrificing other people, it's cool. I enjoyed it. It just felt undercooked, maybe, so I'd say it.
Yeah,
Undercooked
whenever,
is
like,
a
Usopp,
phenomenal game. That
The what?
when Usopp disappears, like it's just a cutaway scene where he makes the Kappa guy a little angry. And
Yeah,
he's gone.
that was a little weird. Yeah, like it doesn't seem
Like-
threatening at all until they make him
And-
threatening later.
Like the throughout the movie, like there's scenes where the dude like snipes people, and it's like, oh, okay, but like the next scene doesn't like follow in with that like same level of dread. Like Chopper gets fucking shot with an arrow, and then it cuts to the next trial, and they're like, oh, where's Chopper? And there's like, he'll come back later. It's like, come on, there needs to be like a building dread. I will say though, this movie had none of the sound design issues I had with Strong World.
Yeah, no.
In fact,
it was good.
the sound design was amazing. There's that great scene where Luffy is chasing after the mustache pirate, and each of their
Yeah,
steps.
it's a fucking Scooby-Doo scene.
Like, they literally sync up, like, the music with their steps, where every time Luffy's stepping, there's a different beat, and every time the mustache dude is stepping, there's a different beat. And it ends up making, like, this really cool animated scene where they're chasing each other. It was super fucking cool. Like, this movie's super engaging when it wants to be.
Yeah.
No, it's great.
Just,
I think it's very fun.
This is easily, like, if this movie made me want to get into One Piece.
Yeah, because it's great. And honestly, that scene where they're all running through the forest together and like the weird CGI camera work is going on and everything.
It reminded me a little bit of Madoka, like the weird kind of mixed media stuff they had going on there.
And honestly, that scene, even though it's aged and it's like weird CGI and it's like CGI or cells drawn on CGI and stuff, I love that scene. That is the scene of all the scenes that stand out the most to me.
It's cool. I also like the use
Not
of color in this
Luffy
movie
with
too. It's very
300
colorful.
tentacles draining his blood. That scene.
I was gonna say the use
yeah.
of color in like the movie is like it's the most of the movie in the start and like the middle is very vibrant and colorful. Some really really nice use of colorful of like super duper like bright colors. And then the second half or the last like third or whatever, it starts fading out like really hard into these like very drowned out things when it gets all like intense. It's pretty cool.
It's a very really cool. Well-directed film.
Yeah, no, for sure. You said the director makes stuff.
Yeah,
he did Summer Wars.
It almost reminded me of a Yuasa film, just because of how the animation style was. But
I could feel that.
Yeah, not like quite the same. But actually, some of the pacing stuff too, just because where like things were. I think I mentioned it to Mike. This reminded me a tiny bit of when they did Short Walk on Girl, where things just kind of happen in sequence, and people just kind of go with it, like there were the whole trials thing, like the ordeals, I think they were called.
I would definitely say it's not as, like, potentially confusing as Night is Long.
Oh, no. But, like, it had a similar energy, I feel. That's all.
Oh, yeah.
I think my favorite part of the movie was definitely the first couple trials or things where they were doing that, and they were just having a lot of fun, and you get to see the characters interact, and that was really fun.
How did you feel about the 4 elderly frog people?
Those were pretty fun, too. I like that whole scene where they're, like, on the boats and stuff is really cool.
Well, that's a dynamic with Sanji and Zoro that I don't think really gets all the credit it deserves. Sanji and Zoro hate each other. They cannot stand each other. That's the running joke.
Dude, I remember very much, like, old One Piece, where most of Zoro appearing on screen is him laughing at them for being idiots.
Yeah, which is funny because he is the dumbest human being on the planet at this point. Dumber than Luffy.
Yeah, he's my mint-flavored himbo.
There's I'm gonna actually send this to you guys. There's a fight sequence they did where it's Zoro fighting a serial killer in the latest Wano arc. And it was animated by that one guy, the one guy that everybody like spends all their money to hire to do those really impressive animation sequences.
You made this Sakuga joke last episode.
It's very much a Sakuga episode, and it's all about Zoro instead of Luffy, which is really really bizarre. But basically, there's a scene where he doesn't have all 3 of his swords, so he gets a scythe from a serial killer, and he uses that as his 3rd sword. And literally, everyone is like, "You can't do that technique. You need 3 swords to do it." And he pulls off the technique anyway because Zoro's too stupid to know his limitations.
Speaking of Zoro, like I want to go back to Stronghold for a second. That scene where he goes Ashura is so fucking... that's the first time I've ever actually seen Ashura mode. That shit is so fucking cool. Holy shit.
You know where he like triples himself?
Yeah, it's so cool.
9 swords?
After discovering hockey, he really stops doing that.
Oh,
that's so lame!
Well, he was trained, so the whole big meme about him is he's the 3-sword swordsman, so he fights a guy who's like, "Oh, if you can use 3 swords, I'll just use 4 swords," and like puts them between his feet and whatnot. But he was actually trained to use hockey by a swordsman who only uses 1 sword, which is Mihawk. And so, like, you actually see, as he's evolved, he pretty much only uses 1 or 3 swords at all times now. And when he has to make his hit count, he will only use 1 sword.
Yo, One Piece is trash, dog. Cancelled.
One Piece is great, you're just an idiot.
Why? Whenever I hear about One Piece, everyone talks about how my fucking Canadian sport ruined it. I don't understand.
I did the joke in my head. Actually, hockey is really, really good, and I think especially in Wano, where they're showing the fact that you can be strong without using hockey, and you can have hockey and be strong. Like, you don't have to have a devil fruit to be
Yeah, I mean,
strong.
people get shoulder checked all the time, but I don't see how it would help you in a fucking power situation.
Why don't you just drop your third puck, Frog, and we'll fight?
I don't play hockey.
That's what I thought. Shut up.
Post hockey.
Yeah, post hockey,
Post
Frog.
stick.
I'm gonna get 30 Sharpie markers and paint my arm in hockey face.
What?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I would say I have been vocal on the podcast and in my friend groups for saying I don't like One Piece. I have shifted that opinion after watching these movies to maybe One Piece is alright.
I think One Piece is pretty cool. I always thought it was kind of cool.
You-
At least,
you have
at least
to
early
take-
One Piece. I don't know how I feel about later One Piece.
Well, even as an avid fan who keeps up with One Piece, you have to take it arc by arc.
Yeah, sure.
Because you have, which is funny because I think I'm the only one who believes this, but like you have the Paramount War arc, which is hot garbage and goes on entirely too long. And then you have like a bunch of arcs where there's goofy stuff going on. Like the entire Impel Down arc, which is my favorite arc, is pretty much just Luffy causing havoc in a maximum security prison. And that's it. That's it. He's just causing problems in a maximum security prison.
That sounds fun.
Isn't after that arc, like, doesn't he break out Buggy in that arc?
Yes, he breaks out Buggy, he breaks out Bon Clay, I don't think he breaks out, but he breaks out everybody. He breaks out the entire Revolutionary Army.
And then after that, it starts like the big like Pirate War arc, right?
Yeah, that's the Marineford arc, yeah. And the Marineford arc is the only reason anybody actually cares about that arc is because Ace dies. Otherwise, it's hot garbage.
Wow.
Spoilers!
Shut up. And then actually what's not ironic, but what's funny is like the next 3 arcs after that, where it's pretty much, the training arcs are okay, where it shows how each of them are getting better at what they're doing for 2 years. But this weird arc where they introduce Sabo through a flashback where Ace and Luffy and Sabo are kids is just the worst. And then you get
I hate when they do that.
And then you get Fishman Island, which is a nice little arc just so you can see how strong everybody's got. Because it's an arc where nobody breaks a sweat. It's an arc where everybody is strong no matter what. Nobody breaks a sweat. Like, everybody is shining. Every member of the crew is doing amazing things.
It's the shoot arc. It's the fight the jobber arc.
Whatever that means, yes.
Wrestling terms.
Yeah. And then it's, fight the jobber. Okay, I got you now. Okay.
Yeah,
Row,
everyone in
fight
that
the
arc is
jobber.
just like shows up for their 9 to 5 and goes home.
Yeah, and then after that you get another really, really solid arc because you get the, not Thriller Bark, what do I keep thinking? You get Punk Hazard. And then after that you get what should have been the best arc in the series, Dressrosa, and it just sucks. And then you go to Zoa, and it's good again for a little bit because you get to enjoy like some nonchalant fun with Zoa. And then you get the Whole Cake Island arc, which once again had a chance to be a really emotional and big deep arc, and it's mostly okay. It's got way too many musical numbers, which I actually find highly enjoyable.
Isn't Dressrosa the Don Flamenco arc?
Yes, and it is hot garbage, even though my favorite character, his brother Corazon, is in it.
This is really weird, because the way you're describing these arcs is the exact opposite of how everyone I know who enjoys One Piece describes.
I've seen people
Honestly,
say that the arc was kind of underhooked, though.
If you take Dressrosa and you remove all the flashback episodes, Dressrosa is a phenomenal arc.
I mean,
No,
yeah.
let me rephrase that. If you remove the flashback episodes involving Soldier, it's a phenomenal arc. The ones where you get Law's backstory are actually worth watching.
That's why I don't watch the anime. I'll just read the manga.
So yeah, it's Dressrosa, great. It could have been great if they didn't focus so much on Soldier's backstory. And it ends really well too, because it ends with basically the Navy getting a job to destroy the entire city to stop Luffy from escaping, and the Admiral's like, no, I'm here to serve and protect. Screw you.
Well,
This has been Moth reviewing One Piece arcs.
Yeah. I love One Piece.
I mean, that's what I kind of wanted. I wanted this to be like, I wanted to give Moth an outlet to really talk about something I know he cares a lot about.
Yeah, it's
Well,
fun.
Honestly, if with the devil fruits, the question everybody asks, like, all right, Mike, I put a devil fruit in front of you, okay? I don't tell you if it's a Zoan, a Logia,
Okay,
or Parmesia. It's
I
just
don't
a devil
know what those
fruit.
terms mean.
Okay, well, one of
Okay,
them
so
is
there's-
like you transform into things. One of them transforms your body, and one of them creates things.
So it's Parmesia generally lets you affect your environment. Parmesia, that's Luffy's devil fruit, the gum fruit. That's Parmesia. A Logia fruit lets you become an element. That's Ace had the fire fruit, Smoker has the smoke fruit, stuff like that. Zoan turns you into a furry.
Oh, like Chopper.
Yeah, except Chopper is the only one who's ever eaten the human fruit.
Yeah, he's actually a reindeer who ate a human fruit, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
I'm past Chopper in my knowledge.
So if I didn't tell you what this fruit was and I just put a devil fruit in front of you, would you eat it?
Yes.
I like
Okay,
swimming.
Frog, would you eat a devil fruit?
I like swimming, though.
So
What would I do with it? Like,
honestly, I would probably... you know what? This is not a political episode, so I'm not going to talk about my Homelander fantasies.
I would eat it, and then no matter what power I got, I would just become an Antifa super soldier.
I would eat it, and then I would
now,
shit. I would take a fat dump.
He would he would eat it whole and shit it out whole.
Yeah.
so Mike, if
I would
I told
absorb
you...
none of the power nutrients.
So Mike, if I told you, here's a Logia fruit, that'll give you an element, that'll turn you into an element. Here's a Zoan fruit, that'll turn you into a furry. And this is a Parmesia fruit, that'll change how you interact with the environment.
Can't turn me
Those
into
are
a
your three
frog
fruits.
furry? I'll take that.
There is actually. There's a frog
I'll
fruit.
take that.
Okay, so frog will eat the frog fruit. Mike, I tell you there are 3 devil fruits in front of you. Without knowing what the devil fruit does, which one of the 3 do you eat?
I think I'd go with the one that lets me, like, affect the environment.
So that'd be the Parmesia. So you'd be like in the same room as the gum fruit.
Yeah.
Okay. Just so you know, some of those are useless as hell. There is literally a devil fruit where as long as your strength of will is stronger than your opponent's, you can keep them chained in an artificial prison. But the moment anybody has even slightly stronger resolve than you, they shatter the prison.
I'm a pretty resolved individual. I think I could do that.
That's actually, you miss it. There's a huge scene in Thriller Bark where there's a fruit that gives you depression if it hits you. And so this girl has the fruit. One of actually the best consistent waifus in the show. She has the devil fruit. And I'm sorry, I can't remember all these characters' names all the time. Which is sad because I'm staring at her figure.
To be fair, One Piece has like 1 trillion people in it.
I just had to look at my Perona figure in my room. It's Perona.
Okay.
And she hits everybody with it, and it affects everybody on the crew. Like, Luffy can't stand up to it, Zoro can't stand up to it. And then she hits Usopp up with it, and he keeps going, and she's like, how? That fruit makes you the single most depressed you've ever been. And Usopp looks her right in the eye and goes, that's my secret. I'm always hating myself.
Oh man, Usopp remains my favorite character.
He actually, he's awakened Sense Hockey, so he's doing really good.
Oh, that's weird. I like the idea of him being a failure. I know he gets really cool later on where he becomes like the what is it, the thief prince or something?
Soga King.
Yeah.
Well, Soga King has already happened, but right now he actually, there's a huge part where Doflamingo puts a bounty on all of their heads. Like, Luffy gets a 300 million berry bounty. Everybody gets a bounty. He's like, if you kill these people, I will give you cash out of my own wallet. And he puts a 500 million berry bounty on Usopp. But it's not Usopp, it's God Sniper Usopp. And Usopp is scared because he can't do a damn thing to save his life. And he's like, please guys, don't do this.
Yeah, I fucking... So yeah. You know what? Whenever they announce they're going into the last arc, I'll start reading.
Oh,
That's probably not going to be for a couple another years, I'd say.
I know. This is a promise I can easily keep.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, he said he's 85% done.
85% is of this. That still means several.
It's been going on for
5 or
20
6
years.
years.
That's fine, though, because, like, honestly, once One Piece is over, I'm pretty sure Jesus is going to show up and be like, what did you guys do?
One Piece ends. And
One
then
Piece is going to end after the heat of the universe, so it's okay.
One Piece ends, and then everyone, like, in the sky, the words appeared, Jesus has logged on.
Who's the guy who got the opportunity to do his own Zoro spinoff? Is it
Boichi.
Is it, yeah, Boichi got permission to do a Zoro spinoff.
Great artist.
Yeah. So that's I
Is
think
that a
we're good.
thing, or is that happening?
That's the thing.
Yeah,
That
that's
already
happening.
exists.
Oh, it is.
Oh.
Yeah. It's been out for a while. He made it in like a couple weeks because he's crazy fast. I don't know what that man's on some other shit. If you guys don't know Boichi, please look up Boichi's artwork. He does work for Dr. Stone.
Oda doesn't?
He did Sunken Rock. Holy shit.
Sunken Rock is his only good one. Do you know that Ichiro Oda doesn't have a single assistant?
I don't believe you.
He says reportedly he works 12 hours a day, sleeps 5 hours a night, and smokes a pack of cigarettes every day.
Jeez, he's not going to live to the fucking end of the series.
But is that like how Kazuya Takahashi does all the art for Yu-Gi-Oh? Like, oh
Just
yeah, he's
does a
got the
ton of
nail on
crap.
every single card. He does all the art, but also these people do all the art.
Yeah, Oda does one chapter of One Piece every week, and they're like 20-page chapters. He doesn't have a single assistant. He does all the line work, all the ink work, everything. About once a month, he does a Shonen Jump cover. He writes and he does consultation for all the games and the movies that come out. Like, he's like, no, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. Like, they bring him in for consulting. He says he sleeps like 5 hours a day. I want to say 3 years ago, he took a month off for the first time in over a decade.
Wild.
Dude, this man is a true, honest to God.
Yeah, some
storyteller who's
mangaka
dedicated
are
to his
actually
craft.
nuts. I feel bad for them because they kind of kill themselves making manga.
Yeah, but like, look at how many people Oda has touched with One Piece.
No, yeah,
Like,
I'm not saying what he's done isn't great. Like, I think all manga, even if manga I don't like, artists in general. If you're an artist, you're probably awesome. Even if I don't think your stuff is very good.
What with what we're going to talk about next week? I think there's another mangaka that's touched a lot more people.
Right.
Rurouni Kenshin? Really? Really? You're going to bring up Rurouni Kenshin?
Hell yeah, everybody. Please join us next week where the We Hate Anime podcast will be having a special guest on, Itsumo Listless, friend of the podcast, and we're going to be watching Rurouni Kenshin Truth and Betrayal, a 4-part OVA. Super easy to watch.
Yeah.
Is it actually like the entire plot or what?
No, it's a backstory. It's a backstory thing.
Okay.
Okay. I haven't watched any of that show, so it might be a little weird.
No, it's literally the backstory. I believe it's the backstory of why he doesn't... Because the whole thing about Kenshin, the story is that, like, something traumatic happened in his past, and so he uses a sword with a reverse-style blade, where the edge is on the wrong side, and he doesn't cut people with it. Except for the cool moments when he shifts it around and cuts people with it. Rurouni Kenshin's cool, guys. I mean, the guy might be a pedophile, but come on, it's cool manga.
I'd have to see it.
But yeah, I think everybody, it's safe to say that this has been the We Hate Anime podcast.
Is it safe?
I think it is. Check out the everything in the comment, or not comments, but in the doobly-doo below. Follow us on Twitter, join our Discord, be our friends, be our pals. I will make fun of you, but Frog might say something nice, and Moth might also make fun of you.
I'm not going to make fun of you. I think, everybody as long as they're doing stuff that makes them happy.
Yes.
Happiness is really lame.
As long as you don't...
Like me and
No. I like
long
this
as
take.
you...
Moth is correct. People consume what you enjoy, but also be critical of what you enjoy, because that's fun.
No, don't be critical of what you enjoy.
I think you should be critical of what you enjoy way more than the things you don't like. Because things you don't like and you're criticizing, of course you're going to criticize it. You can find things to criticize easily. But criticizing what you do like is how you develop taste.
Exactly. That's why Moth has shit taste.
I think that's fine. Like I said, I think you can enjoy what he wants. I like half the things you like. That's fine.
As long as you don't like Uzaki-chan, you're okay with me.
I don't like Uzaki-chan.
What's wrong with Uzaki-chan?
It's terrible.
It's a bad show for
it's
bad
just
people.
bad.
I don't understand.
We'll have an episode. No, we won't. I'm not promising that. Fuck that. Okay. All right. I'll see you guys next week.